Well, we've been working with Infobip for about 5 years, and mostly through the messaging apps, communications with our guests, like I've mentioned. And it's been a good partnership because it's 5 years and we continue. So I think that, like I mentioned, in the future, I'm excited to see what new technologies Infobip is going to embrace and how we can partner up and do it together. I'm Caroline. I'm the Chief Customer Officer for TEEG. We own the Timezone brand, which is the most known brand to most people in Asia Pacific. We run family entertainment centers. People will come to our centers to have fun. So we operate right now in 7 countries in Asia Pacific: Singapore, Indonesia, India, Philippines, Vietnam, Australia, and New Zealand. Challenges? Would you ask about challenges? Challenges, I guess, in terms of communication, more relevant to you, our customer engagement would be this online and offline experience that we provide. So we engage a lot. We engage our guests online, but of course, the fulfillment is offline, where they come to the centers and they have fun and they play. So I think that the challenge is making sure that the engagement is seamless and it's the same kind of experience online and offline. Another challenge is also to be able to get the customers onto the database. Because we're predominantly an offline experience, and you can go into our centers and play and have a great experience. But if we don't capture your data, then we don't know you and we can't engage you anymore. So it's a challenge and an opportunity for us to make sure that if you enjoy yourself, or anybody who comes into our centers becomes our guest, to be engaged after they leave. So real-time is very important. So real-time gratification is just like the experience that they have in venue. When they play a game and they win, it's real-time, right? They win. And we want to make sure that they have the same experience after they leave, when we engage them or when we ask them to come back. So Infobip does help us in communicating with our guests, especially through the messaging apps like SMS or Viber or Zalo. And it also helps us to satisfy our guests' needs a lot better, because our guests get an opportunity to select what channels they want to be engaged through. I think that we noticed that through the messaging apps, the messages and the response is more immediate and urgent. Right? So you could send an email and that's mostly like for maybe information. But when you send a message or there is interaction through a messaging app, the interaction or the call to action is more urgent. So a use case would be our markets often have like flash deals, right? So we use the messaging channels, whether it's, let's say, Viber in the Philippines, to tell our guests that there's a flash deal and it's taking place Friday only between 12 and 2 p.m., right? And we would send reminders through these messaging apps, because you're always on your phone and the messaging app always appears, whereas if you send an email, you might not read it for a few hours, right? So it has that sense of urgency and that call to action for urgent use cases. So obviously we need to localize the communication. So different markets behave in different ways. Local language is one. Let's say in Philippines, definitely the words that I use are not going to be fully in English. And different things drive them. So there are certain markets that they will really go after a flash sale, for example, in the Philippines. But there are some markets, let's say for Australia and New Zealand, they don't have the sense of urgency, right? They'll be like, oh, okay, when there's a sale, or I'll just go there and see what promotion is on. They might not jump at the chance or, react so fast to these kind of flash sales. I think AI is definitely going to change the way we communicate with guests. I think that it's definitely going to help us with hyper segmentation. Right now, I think that there's some sort of guesswork, right, where AI is going to help us not only analyze the behavior so that we can better engage our guests. I'm looking forward to how we can optimize or take advantage of predictive behavior, which AI can do way more accurately than guessing. So I think that's really going to change to anticipate what our customers want us to, how they're going to react to certain types of messages, so that we know what kind of conversation to lead them to drive them to whatever action that we want to drive them to. Infobip is embracing AI technology, and it's always trying to improve the ways that we communicate with our customers. And I think that it would be good to go on this journey of growth together. Well, we've been working with Infobip for about 5 years, and mostly through the messaging apps, communications with our guests, like I've mentioned. And it's been a good partnership because it's 5 years and we continue. So I think that, like I mentioned, in the future, I'm excited to see what new technologies Infobip is going to embrace and how we can partner up and do it together.